Welcome to Radio Tech Channel.
Today I bring to your screen a part of the video that I posted last week, practical video on how to build a single phase automatic changeover switch with one contactor. And this video that you are about to watch is not my video, it's a video from engineer James Okoye. He's a very wonderful person. I've learned so much from him, so I will drop his link below this video. You can go to his channel and learn from him also. So the only thing that is going to be different from what I taught you last week on this video is the part of electric alarm and timer. If you don't know how to connect electric alarm with timer, you need to watch my video on how to connect electric alarm with timer. So once you understand that, this video will be clear to you, but it's just a practical part of what I taught you last week. It's just the practical side of what I taught you last week. It's very simple and very straightforward. Watch this video and learn. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Engineer James Okoye. In this video, I want us to build automatic changeover. In this one, we'll be building a single phase automatic changeover using one contactor. Now, in this one, we are using a timer because we are going to use an alarm, for alarm to indicate when utility supply comes in. So now we are using this single phase diagram. When you look at this, you see that this is a single phase diagram. Looking at it, you see that these terminals as a whole is a terminal of one contactor. This is L1, L2, L3, T1, T2, T3 of a contactor, and these are the auxiliary contacts of this contactor. 21 and 22 of the contactor are normally closed, 41 and 42 of the contactor are normally closed as well. So when you look at it, you see that L1 is normally open with T1, L2 is normally open with T2, while L3 is normally open with T3. Alright, looking at this, you see that this is a timer that we'll be using. Looking at this timer, you see that A1 and A2 are the quiet terminals of the timer, normally closed of the timer. This is the common terminal of the timer. This A1 and A2 are the quiet terminals of this contactor. Alright, and this is an alarm. And when you look at it, you see that this is PSCN supply and this is generator supply. Alright, so we'll be making use of this contactor for it, and we'll be making use of this timer because this is the contactor, a timer, and an alarm that we'll be using. This is an electronic alarm, so I'll be using this alarm. Looking at it again, I will be using this as a load, and because it comprises of NEPA and this utility supply and generator, so I'll be making use of these two supplies. Alright, so we are going to start. This is making use of these two supplies, this one and this one, because we are using PSCN and generator, that is utility supply and generator. So let's start the connection. Alright, looking at this diagram, you see that this is PSCN supply and this generator supply. I will first of all connect this PSCN supply, this utility supply, that's the supply one, and we are dealing with L1 and L2 of the contactor. So we are going to supply live and neutral of utility to L1 and L2 of the contactor. So I'm going to use this, and this is the terminals of this contactor. This is the L1 and L2 of this contactor. So I'm going to supply this to L1 here, and I'm going to supply this to L2 here. So looking at it again, you see that from the diagram again, from L1 and L2 goes two wires, which means that L1 goes to A1. You connect L1 to A1 and connect L2 to A2. So I'm going to connect L1 to A1 and L2 to A2. All right, so I'm going to connect this L1 here to A1. This is the A1 terminal of this contactor here. All right, and I'm going to connect the L2, which is this, to A2 of the contactor. This is the A2 of this contactor here. Okay, now looking at the diagram again, you see that from A1 and A2 of the contactor connects to A1 and A2 of the timer. Now this timer A1 and A2 are coil terminals of this timer. Some timers have 7 and 2 as coil terminals, some of them have other numbers, but anyone just indicate the coil terminals of the timer and connect the A1 and A2. So we are connecting A1 and A2 of this coil of this contactor to A1 and A2 of the timer. So let's start. So I'm going to connect this A1 of the contactor, which is this. This is the A1 of the contactor. I'm going to connect it to A1 of the timer, which is this. Now we are using this 2 as the A1 of the timer, all right, because 2 and 7 of this timer are the coil terminals of timer, so we are using 2 as the A1 of this timer, all right. All right, looking at it again, you see that the A2 from the diagram, the A2 of the contactor goes to A2 of the timer, and we are using 7 as the A2 of the timer. So I'm going to connect this A2 of the contactor here. When tighten it to be firm, all right. So we connect it to terminal number 7, which is the A2 of this timer. Okay, so looking at the diagram now, you see that from the A1 of the timer connects to the common of the timer, all right. So looking at this now, you see that terminal number 8 is the common of this timer, so I'm connecting this A1 of the timer, which is this. Alright, to terminal number 8 of the timer, which is this. Alright, so looking at it again from the diagram, you see that the alarm wires connect to A2 of the timer and the normally close of the timer. So now this is the alarm that you'll be using. So this alarm now, the 2 wires, one connects to A2 and the other one connects to normally close of the timer. So I'm connecting one terminal to A2, which is this place. And the other terminal to normally close of this timer, which is terminal number 5, because terminal number 8 is normally close to terminal number 5. So this is terminal number 5. Alright, so we are done with the connection of the timer. What we do now is to put the timer, so we put the timer, we socket it. Now looking at the diagram again, you see that we are done with this side. Now the generator terminal, you see that this, right, you see that this 21 and 22 of this contactor are normally closed, while 41 and 42 are normally closed. No matter the terminal that you are dealing with, just locate the normally close of the timer of the contactor. Then the normally close of the contactor be 2, because this is 1 and this is 2. So this one is normally closed and this one is normally closed. So we are going to connect this live and neutral. This is live and neutral. We are going to connect it to terminal 21 and 41 of this contactor, which is this place. So we are going to connect to this place. A 41, and we are going to connect to this place. All right, 21. Okay, so looking at it again, you see that terminal number 22 and terminal number 42 goes to terminal number T1 and T2. All right, so because 2 of them must be together, 22 goes to T1 while 42 goes to T2. So we are going to connect this 22 here with this 42 here. Alright, to T2, which is this place. And we are going to connect this 22 here to this place, which is the T1. Alright, so looking at it again, looking at the diagram again, you see that the load to your house comes from T1 and T2. So because we are using this as the load, so we connect it to this T1 and T2. All right, so we are connecting this load to T1. So I connect this to T1, which is this place, and I connect this one to T2, which is this place. All right. Okay, so now we are done with this connection, and what is remaining now is for us to test. All right, so we are going to test now. Alright, so what is remaining now is for us to test. Now what we expect is this immediately, because we are going to supply the generator first, which is this, because generator goes with the normally closed, while the NEPA goes with the normally open. Okay, why the utility goes with the normally open. Now with this, now when the generator is on, alright, immediately the load will start showing. You know, this is the load will show you that the generator is on. Then when the utility supply enters, the alarm will indicate that there is utility supply, and you will not even notice it because it will immediately transfer to utility supply. Okay, so now I will first of all power the generator. When you power the generator, you see that the generator is on. All right, the generator is on. Then when immediately NEPA, which means the utility, comes in, immediately utility supply comes in, the alarm will indicate, and with the help of timer, this time I have to off this alarm. All right, so now the generator is on, and when utility brings light, that BSTM brings light, you see that the alarm will indicate that there is utility. All right, and the time I cut it off. All right, you don't even notice it. All right, so now even if you remove your generator, nothing happens because utility have taken place. All right, I will repeat it again. When you are using your generator and NEPA brings light or utility brings light, utility supply is PSCN in Nigeria. Okay, when they bring light, you see that the alarm will indicate there is utility supply, and it will off. Okay, so thereby transferring to utility supply. All right, so this is our single phase automatic changeover. You know, is our single phase automatic changeover using one contactor and one timer, and we use alarm in this one. All right, I still remain my humble self, Engineer James Okorie. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.